Hello?
Hello?
Hello? If you can hear this, it's not too late. I return to warn you. This is Time Pop, a podcast that discusses time travel and pop culture. There are spoilers. I've seen the future, and nothing is sacred to these folks. Your past, present, and future are sure to be ruined. Even if you could go back in time, as I have, you will never forget what you are about to hear. You've been warned. This is Time Pop.
Welcome, chrononauts, as we guide you through the experience of time travel using pop culture as our someone is thinking about you when you masturbate.
What the fuck? Every now and then I'm like, wait, what?
We will be your constants. I am Des,
I'm Scott.
and this is Time Pop.
Oh, what has started off with a bang or a wank?
Literally. So did you know that's what deja vu was, Scott? Or did you learn something during this?
I forgot about that quote. You took me by surprise. I was like, what is he? Did I not see the movie? And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's fun. Happy October, everybody.
Happy October, why is October why do we care about October, Scott?
Well, it's a scary month. Halloween is present. And so it's fun. We delve in time travel. But every now and then, why not dip into the horror element of time travel?
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky time travel.
Which it's kind of a deep well. I keep thinking like, ooh, wow, it's a horror movie. And then I kind of went on a deep, because when you just search time travel movies, they're generally buried at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Because people are like, well, these are kind of horror first, and then there's a little time travel element. But
you could say Triangle's got horror elements, or even what's the Spanish one? Time Crimes.
yeah.
Like there's murder in these. There's some, I don't know. There's scary elements. But yeah, this film we're doing today has been recommended, and it took us a while to get here.
It really did. I want to thank the extra shove. I've been throwing Happy Death Day. I saw both of these in the theater, and I loved them. And Ari doesn't want to watch horror at all, and Scott's like, whatever, we'll get there.
No, yeah. So she's sitting this one out, and it's October, so this was a good chance to take a dip.
But I want to thank someone personally for this.
Yeah.
I want to thank Brendan. We got an amazing email from Brendan. We get emails every now and then. They're half a sentence, rarely punctuated. Thanks for the show. Good podcast. Why don't you guys take yourself back in time and not start this podcast? Stuff like that.
Oh. I mean, we can't. We try,
We did. If we could ever go back in time, we're going to make this podcast even better. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But anyways, he wrote an amazing email telling us how great we are, which, I mean, let's face it, we are. I mean, we are short. We are short Ari today. So we are 66% great at best.
Right.
At best. Right now. But anyway, so he went really above and beyond. He gave us a top 10, which we'll get into in a minute. But he finally was like, have you guys seen the Happy Death Days? And he even mentioned both of them. And it's funny because I was recently talking to Scott and Ari, and I was like, Happy Death Day is good. And Happy Death Day 2 is kind of a good time travel movie. Like they actually dip into some serious time travel theory and stuff like that. And Brendan totally backed me up on that. So thank you. Thanks for the push. They had no choice. They had to do it. We're getting Happy Death Day out of the way. I mean, it's a good movie. It's fun. But I'm super excited to do Happy Death Day 2, which might be next Halloween. I don't know. We'll see if we can squeeze it in the next 12 months.
I don't know if I can wait that long.
I was thinking maybe Valentine's Day, maybe we'll do a horror movie.
Yeah. I love it. And then Brendan, I also want to reference in his letter. His letter was good. He maybe disagreed on the Interstellar thing. And listen, I can respect Interstellar. I measured it. Nothing happens with that. That first 45 minutes is just the dust is killing. Everything's dying. The movie does not take off for 45 minutes. I get that it requires the patience. I appreciate your opinion. I just like where it takes off from there. I'm a big Nolan fan. The slow burn of Dark Knight Returns and Inception in this film. But hey, opinions like horses. Everyone bets on a different horse. Sometimes they all win. Well, different ones win.
I would say, Brendan, if you want to give Interstellar one more shot, something tells me you've probably started it like 5 or 6 times, and you're just like,
Yeah.
just start it an hour in. Just you know about the farm, you know about the dust. Like, you don't need to be reminded of that. Start it an hour in, watch 100-minute amazing time travel movie, and hopefully it might it might change your opinion.
Yeah.
But like Scott says, everyone, we don't all like the same flavor Doritos.
Not even the three of us like the same films, as you can tell by our top 10s. Way off, way off. Some of us put Back to the Future 2 above Back to the Future 1. Crazy.
Well, and I mean,
two of us.
Let's put it this. I mean, Brendan started 2 controversies because A, Interstellar wasn't even on his top 10.
Yeah.
And then he broke all the rules and just put the whole Back to the Future trilogy at number 1.
Which I respect. I'll give him that.
You didn't respect Ari for putting 1 and 2 in the same slot.
She did, because she cheated. She did 2. If you're just going to say all 3 as one, as an entity, sure. But 2 just feels like you're taking 2 movies. Whatever. Let's move on.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Brendan. Now we're watching Happy Death Day. It is, I mean, let's just sum it up immediately. It's Groundhog Day with murder.
With Scream.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day and Scream had a child, and it was this film. By the way, Ari could have totally seen this film. This is not a scary movie. This is a very tongue-in-cheek, fun, teeny bopper, funny horror film.
But it's the jump scare. She's fine with gore.
Yeah.
But what little, like, there are a couple, I mean, not a lot, but if that's what you hate.
Yeah. I mean, they poke fun at sororities, they poke fun at college life, they poke fun at being a bitch, they poke fun at even the way she gets murdered, like, shit, and goes back. So, like, it's a funny film. This is not Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Well, no, Johnny Depp wasn't in it.
Yeah, nobody was on the ceiling splaying blood everywhere.
Johnny Depp was nowhere.
But no, it's a fun movie. It's like Scream. Scream is actually more horror than this is, I would think.
It starts off, like, from all I've heard, it's like, it is not easy to get a major corporation to change their logo in any way. And this movie spent the budget to Groundhog Day, the Universal logo, right off the bat.
Oh, yeah, that was so cool.
That was brilliant. And
that was brilliant. And all of a sudden you're like, this is a creative film. They're going to have all these serious films don't mess with the intro, like the Universal. Yeah, when you watch it, the Universal glitches and goes back and starts again. Super fun.
Yeah, that right there, you're like, they are all in this movie. Like, everyone has bought in. It is Monday the 18th, and we get a real count. Generally, half of our conversation for Groundhog Day type murders is, has it been 2 days? Has it been 1,000 days? Like Palm Springs, it might have been 1,000 years. Like, we don't know. But she says, I think we might see all 16 too. Like, if we really look at the montage, like, there's probably about...
We've seen everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
What day did it say was her birthday? Do you remember? Was it September 18th?
Oh, I don't remember the month. It was Monday the 18th.
Yeah, I think it was September.
Oh, no, you're right. Because I think I did it.
Oh, we missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have done this on September 18th. God damn it. That would have been, every year we can do Happy Death Day.
Yes.
Like Back to the Future Day.
That's what this podcast is going to eventually just be, us doing the same 24 movies every year.
When did they go in Interstellar? Oh, it was March 3rd.
We're just going to Groundhog Day this whole podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the film, it was really fun. I'm not going to say this is like revolutionary time travel. It's a loop film. It is a classic loop film, like, keep doing it until you get it right type thing. Although actually in this one, it's do it until you get the murderer.
Yeah, or don't die. In theory, if she somehow does get away and doesn't die,
yeah,
then she's not gonna which I guess is kind of like Palm Springs. That one is death reset.
Can I give my one complaint now?
Absolutely.
I don't understand what's the mechanism that is causing the time loop. There is no explanation. I thought when the killer was the other guy, there was something mystical and he did it, or was tied to her mother and they have to write. She just gets killed and she's going to loop this day until she finds the murderer, or as Desmond says, doesn't get killed. And then it goes on. And like, where is that coming from? How come everyone who's not murdered doesn't get to repeat the day until they fix it? There's no make a wish. There's no like, oh, lightning struck a thing. There's no talisman. Right? Is that an issue? It's an issue for me.
Okay. Oh, is this only about number 2?
I don't know if number 2 says more. I just will say in this, She gets killed. She loops the day. She starts realizing, and eventually she talks to a guy who's like, maybe you got to figure out who did it. And then she thinks she kills the murderer, but then she loops the day again. Then she finds the actual murderer, and then she doesn't loop her days anymore. But like, where did this come from? I will say, if I'm trying to find a reason, it does, maybe you paid attention to something I didn't get. Was she saying that her mom is born on the same day, but her mom did not die on that day, right? I think her and her mother share the same birthday, and her mom had passed. So they're trying to suggest there's like a very mystical thing to her birthday that she tries to ignore because the pain of her mom's past. But if her mom had died on her birthday, you could say, oh, it's caused this mystical thing for her. But that's not, I don't think that's ever a thing that's brought up. Anyway, that's my only thing to complain. I need a reason. I need it explained to her where she learns the rules, and it's not there.
Okay, this is a way longer article than I just wanted to see what the consensus on the internet was. What kind of mystical power did this?
Yeah, no reason. Just she's a lucky person who got killed, but gets to repeat it till she fixes it.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I think it has something to do with the twist at the end.
I would get it if that person was like into voodoo or the occult, or it made.
But that's right. And also I don't know why I'm being cagey. We're going to spoil everything about this movie. Why? Because
Yeah, spoiler alert, we're going to explain. This is like a mystery film. If you've not seen it and you want to, go see it. We're going to spoil all the things.
Yeah, we're going to start with the twist right now. Like if it actually has a really fun twist at the end. So, and I was going to say it has something to do with the original plan not working. But if that was the case, then she never would have woken up on that last day. When she did eat the cupcake, she would have actually died. But now, okay, so that's right. So then she comes back one last time after she eats the cupcake. She kills her roommate. And then John Toombs is never unbound at the hospital, because I forget what's her name? Lori. It's Lori who lets the killer loose at the hospital.
Right.
But why would he?
So the movie starts off, this she's a sorority girl. She's a bit of a bitch. We can say that, right?
Yeah.
And then when she gets killed at the end of her day. And then as she's living this day, she kind of talks to this guy that she had a hookup with. Yeah.
She gets stabbed to death.
And he suggests like, hey, figure out who would want to kill you. And so she starts one by one trying to eliminate it. Could be the rival sorority sister. It could be this guy that was angry that she never called him back. And she's ruling it out. Eventually, it's like a little bit of a murder mystery, and it takes you down to this convict murderer who is released. And so we all think it's that. And then finally, when she takes care of him,
the man who killed her mother.
Oh, that is the man who killed her mother.
Yes.
See, if it was him, that would make sense. It would be like, her mom and her shared the same birthday. Her mom was killed. It was on her birthday. And by this guy who was just released, and he kills her. And there's just this universe being like, no, you can't kill a mother and daughter born on the same day.
Yeah.
Give me something. Give me something to work with.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to look at this article again.
So at the end, I'm going to spoil it now. Throughout the whole movie, she's got this roommate who's actually really sweet. Everyone forgets her birthday except for this roommate. And the roommate makes her a cupcake. And because like she's in a sorority and they don't eat sweets, she kind of like, thanks. I don't like to think my birthday, and throws it out. And she kind of is a bitch to her. Throughout this movie, just like, it's almost like a trope of these kind of films. Like you learn to be a better person, right? When you loop your day, you realize what an asshole you are, and you become a better version. You try to fix all the things. And like, she's nice to the girl who wants her to sign her petition. And she tells the guy who's hung up on her that he can be free and he can be gay. And she's nice to the sorority girl that waves to her. She does all the right things. And finally she goes to the roommate and like, hey, I've been a bitch and I should be nice to you. And the roommate gives her the cupcake, whatever. She has this version where she kills the bad guy. She's nice to this guy that she'd hook up with. They share the cupcake in like this 16 candles way. And she still dies and she doesn't know why. And later on that day, she kind of figures out this sweet roommate all along. The only one who remembered her birthday, who made her the cupcake, is the one who killed her. The cupcake was poison, my friends. And so when she realizes that, she does not eat the cupcake, and she ends up fighting with the roommate and killing her. And then she lives and moves on. So yes, she had to figure out the murderer or stop herself from being murdered. But you think she would have one of her lifespans, she does drive away and the murderer finds her in the road. But like, you would think if she starts her day, just gets a car and just goes to like Miami, like it wouldn't happen. And then does she continue living?
Well, then I think she gets worried. Yeah. And how long, if she dies of a heart attack 30 years later, does she wake up a 19-year-old college student. So this person has kind of a good, I mean, I don't know if I buy this, but it's as good of an idea as anything. So because the original cupcake doesn't work, the killer ends up going on a crime spree, killing people that weren't supposed to die. Because if Lori kills Tree, then Tree dies, the serial killer stays locked up and doesn't go on a rampage, killing 5 other people getting to Tree.
That's the theory.
And those 5 people were never supposed to die. So Tree has to figure out a better way in order. Like I said, I don't know that I buy it, but it's got to be.
Yeah, that's weak because it's like if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Like that she did that.
I think the mother-daughter connection is a better one, but they don't go. I mean, I guess they kind of do. I mean,
no, it's a big part of the film.
She finally goes and talks to her dad, and there seems to be some closure there.
I mean, it is a major element. Her mom has died. They bring that up. Her mom has the same birthday as her, and they always celebrate it. So this day, she doesn't like to remember. And that's why she kind of doesn't tell anybody, and she's a bitch. Her dad is like calling her and then like wants her to meet at a restaurant. And most of these lives, she just stands the guy up.
Yeah.
Because she's like pushing away. And so in the version of her where like she becomes a better person, she acknowledges that. It was I think that's in the one where she actually kills who we think is the murderer, right? We have this day where she does all the right things.
Yeah.
And then she's still back the next day. It was a good twist of like, wait, she did all the right things. She killed the guy. That's not it.
That was a great, because I remembered her now boyfriend tricking her into thinking the day repeated, but I forgot there was one more repeated day in there. And that's really great when she has her 16 candles birthday sitting across from the cupcake. Well, it's weird too that, well, I guess even if he did eat the cupcake, it doesn't matter if they, cause I'm like, what if they shared the cupcake, but she would have reset the day anyways. Did you mention where he dies and then she decides to reset the day one more time because she's like, well, if I kill John Tomes,
oh yeah,
then Carter will be dead forever. So she goes to the top of the bell tower and hangs herself so she can come back. Because, yeah, she basically figures it out and in one day and could finish it. But then the new guy that she fell in love with would be dead. So she decides to go in one more time. And that's when she does the perfect day because she's just like, she's signing petitions.
I almost thought the sacrificing herself for this guy might have been the thing to get her out the loop, you know, when she did it.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say?
Something intelligent and insightful.
Worst part of this loop. This is the worst loop ever. She has to wake up with a massive hangover every single day. Oh my God. I would keep shooting myself in the head until my body eventually deteriorated into nothing. If that's how if I knew every day was going to start with a splitting headache.
Every day's with a hangover. And at first, a regretful decision, right? She hooked up and she's in some dorm on a bed.
The music box?
What?
The music box?
What music box? Oh.
The killer puts in the tunnel?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a mystical.
For the first 2.
But the killer is her roommate. She has no powers. She's just a...
Well, no, that's John Tomes. That's John Tombs by that time.
The
roommate never stabs her.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right.
Yeah. The stabby stab is always...
She sends the killer after her, right?
So the one time she makes it to the party, is Lori there? She must be.
Did she go to the party? She was working, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yep.
That's right. So
because even when she makes it to that's right, because she still gets stabbed.
So they give little hints to it that our main character was having an affair with a doctor who worked at the hospital, and the roommate worked at the hospital, and they talked how she was seeing someone, and apparently she was also seeing this guy. This guy was married. So the guy is a possibility. The guy's wife is a possibility. There's a lot of suspects.
The main sorority girl, she's mad at Lori for kissing on her guy. Yeah, it's a classic horror movie where they give everybody a motive at one point or another. There's a rolling blackout every night, so they throw that mystical thing in. There always seems to be some kind of an electrical situation. I loved how she used that to her advantage at the very end. When she's hunting John Tomes, she knows exactly when the blackout's going to be, so she can get the jump on him.
Yeah. It's a really fun loop, and it's fun college satire. As her day starts, it's like a perfect college day. You're waking up hungover in some craphead dorm room. You get out. There's someone making you try to sign a petition to save something. There's some freak who looks at you the wrong way. There's a bunch of frat guys stumbling drunk. Like all your cliches of like shitty college life. It's all right there to wake up to. And then she gets to go to a sorority house and deal with like a bitchy sorority sister.
Yeah, total. The doctor has. So did we mention what the mascot is? Like, so the mascot of this college is a baby. Just terrible.
A weird, like smiling one-toothed baby face. And the murderer wears it kind of like Scream.
And the doctor has one in like a hidden compartment in his desk. Like they really.
No, well, it was in the hospital, right? That was probably her little buddies. Her little buddy had that hidden there.
But she went to, no, that was when she visited her.
It was, I guess I just don't know if she works with him. She works in the hospital, so she had the mask there to give to the creepoid.
That's right. And put it somewhere where she wouldn't be pinned.
Right.
If it was found. Fucking Lori. God damn it. You couldn't.
Such a sweet girl.
I know.
Watch out for cupcakes, folks.
And what about the day that she that Tree totally is like, I've been a shitty roommate. I'm sorry. Like they totally would, when Tree's having the perfect day.
Yeah. And she doesn't forgive her for that, right? Like she doesn't stop the cupcake thing.
I don't think she does. Oh no, because Tree asks for it. Because I think she almost does forget, but Tree's like, okay, but why wouldn't she?
Because she still wants to kill her. She's still really jealous about the guy.
But no, why wouldn't Tree eat it right then? But for whatever reason, she saves it for a celebration that night.
Right.
Which makes sense.
If she wants with her new guy. So yeah, she falls in love. She's nice to her dad. She's nice to people. She learns a lot in her time loop. We should all have time loops.
What was the best quote is, one thing you learn about living the same day over and over again is you find out who you really are, which makes sense because we have so many snap judgments, and we're just like, oh God, I hope I never do that again. But when you're like confronted with the same thing every day, like how many iterations does it take for you to not flip that guy off on the freeway for kind of cutting you off?
Right. But that's like a classic loop trope, right? Like isn't there a film? What's the big Christmas one? The Jimmy Stewart one.
Yeah.
Isn't that essentially like the first time loop till you're a better person? Or he just repeats it once? I'm sorry. The Dickens, that's the first time loop to be a better person, right? He doesn't loop. He sees the past and the future and the...
Right. Yeah, that's not...
Christmas Carol. Have we not done Christmas? You know what's so funny? We haven't talked about Christmas Carol for time travel holiday films.
You're still on the hook for picking. We're either going to do my bad Hallmark movie or whatever you want. So
I sent you two.
Oh, that's right. You did.
But yeah, Christmas Carol is arguably... Anyway, but obviously Groundhog Day is also like almost like Groundhog Day is for loop films, what Back to the Future is for time travel films, right? Like,
yeah,
it kind of set at the time. It was like, what a great idea. And it has now been replicated with variations so many times that we even have it's our own subgenre. But generally in a loop film, you got to get it right. You got to either figure out how to beat the alien, or you got to become the nice person or fall in love or find your murderer. It's a trope.
Somehow you have to have the perfect day.
Yeah.
And which is,
you got to do everything right.
Which is what makes this one so good, because she has the perfect day.
Yeah.
She makes up after everybody. She falls in love. She forgives herself. She forgives everyone around her, but too bad.
So yeah, I liked the film.
Yeah.
It was fun. Again, my only issue, which is unfortunately like a big one, is like, I just want a reason for the loop. I need a reason. Time doesn't just do that for anybody. I need her to, and it can be mystical. Make a wish. Or again, if the murderer killed her mother on the same day of their birthday and they're both born on that birthday and he was going to kill her, I could see that as a big like time thing. It's just something symbolic. Give me that.
You just nailed it, Scott. All she has to do is wish for a second chance.
Yeah.
When she blows out her candle.
Yep. That would have given it.
That's it.
Or the murderer found a way to do something to like really torture her. It's like, you're going to have to repeat dying, like for some vengeful reason, they found a talisman or I don't know, something with science, something with magic.
Just show the opening scene of Chucky and, but have it be whatever something he had of her mother's. Like somehow he kept something of her mother's.
Yeah.
Maybe a bracelet with her name on it.
Oh.
Huh? It's all right.
We just need a reason. We just need something. And it can be, we got suspension of disbelief. You can find an invention. You can make a wish. You can chant a spell. It can be that some symbolic time crux portal. There's so many things.
Scott, unfortunately, wasn't on this episode, but we've seen a thunderstorm cause a time travel. That wasn't a repeating day, but it caused time travel. And I don't remember, Happy Death Day 2 might answer this, because the fact that this happens again, and I can't remember if that one is a loop again or what, but the fact that this happens to the same woman twice means whether they thought it...
Is it her in the second one? Is she in the second one?
Yeah.
She has another loop murder day?
Oh, and Carter, and I don't want to look at it. I do want to double check and see if it's a loop, but I'm sure Brendan right now is just being like, guys! But I don't even want to look at his email and read his description of Happy Death Day 2. But yeah, I think we have to do it sooner than later to see if we can answer these last couple questions we have.
Did you read, Des, the original ending to this film?
Oh, no.
It says in the film's original ending, Tree is taken to the hospital after her encounter with Laurie. The doctor instructs Tree to stay away from pain medication for at least a day due to the extent of her injuries. After he leaves, a nurse comes in and says she is giving Tree something for the pain. Tree informs the nurse the doctor's orders. The nurse reveals herself to be Dr. Butler's wife, Stephanie, who says it's for her own pain. She then murders Tree in revenge for her husband's affair with the girl. They said the version was shown in test screening and was received negatively by the audience, led the writers to come up with a theatrical ending.
Wow.
I mean, that would have been a much darker...
So she's like dead?
Yeah, then she dies for real.
Whoa.
Because it's like you got one of the people that wanted to kill you, but you forgot about one more that was out there. And maybe you were supposed to die.
I assume there would have been a bunch of other deleted scenes re-added.
Yeah.
About her wife.
It was just like the one that got dropped in.
Now I wonder if the scene where Tree like tells him, you know, I'm not going to date you anymore. You have a woman who loves you. I wonder if that was reshot, or if that would have made the original ending even more terrible, that Tree was like doing the right thing and still got...
Right. You still have to account for your sins, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a better person. It's like, okay, well, you still pissed this woman off. And you haven't said you're sorry to her. It was like, yeah, she left that one. I mean, she broke up with the guy and said, go to your wife, but didn't do anything to the wife.
Which is weird too, because Laurie was the one who was really in love with him. Like Tree was banging him just because that's what she do.
That's what she do.
That's what
she do.
Actually, I take it back. That's what she did. That is not what she does.
Right. She's a better person now.
But it's great. The one thing I do remember, like the roommate that we only see who just talks about her fine vagina day after day. He's like a main part of of Happy Death Day 2 of like the science scene. Because we don't know what his major is because we barely get to know him. So he ends up being the physics major or something that helps him really figure it out.
Yeah.
So, and there was supposed to be, because of course you're going to make 2, you got to write the trilogy. And apparently there was plans for quite a while. I don't know why.
I'm really excited. I've never seen either of these, so I'm really excited to see the sequel. I don't know. I think February is the latest I can wait.
Okay. Okay. I think it was released on, I was like, was it actually set on Valentine's Day? Because the first one was released like right now, 5 years ago.
I said, we should probably see something like Somewhere in Time on Valentine's Day. We should see like a true time travel romance. February is a long month though.
We'll just hold on to it. The next time Ari can't make it, which she's a busy girl these days, we'll just bump it right on up.
All right. I'm ready. I'm in.
I mean, we asked this question. Well, I guess this is a different way to ask this question. Would you want to relive the day you're murdered every day to solve your own murder?
I mean, no to the murder. I find it interesting.
That's already going to happen, Scott. The murder's done. You're just gifted with the ability.
That I say no.
No, you just want to be dead?
No.
If you get murdered?
Oh, you mean as opposed to just dying? Oh, yes. Then I do want to loop it. As opposed to dying, yes.
Okay, yeah. The murder's a given.
I find the question about would you consider being in a loop day that you had to solve to get out of? And like, I would almost enjoy a loop day. I would like to take the nuances to how much can I do in a day. That being said, being trapped in that eternity is horrific. But like, if I could be offered, like, I'd live the same day for like 2 to 3 months, I would do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting stuff. And then I could become a better person and I could learn Kung Fu and different languages.
I'm with you. I mean, if I have my choice to like I'd want the Groundhog Day style where I just go to bed and wake up yesterday, as opposed to, because she dies in even one time she just gets hit by a bus. She's fighting with her friend and they both just get hit by a
She gets lit on fire. She gets stabbed. Yeah. Tough birthday.
But it would be like, and this has a good twist too, where we realize that she's deteriorating and she's not going to be able to do this forever.
Yeah. Actually, let's bring that up. That's really interesting. I forgot about that. They show her at the doctor's. These are past lives, right? She resets, but like she faints one time and then they go to the doctor and the doctor's like, I'm looking at your vitals and like, it looks like you should be dead.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting that follows. That's never happened in any loop film that we've seen. And it's almost like you're saying, it's like boss level, this is kind of gamified and you only have a certain number of lives.
Yeah. Well,
it gives you that feeling, right? It's kind of like that you can't take forever to solve this.
And it makes sense to me because your soul is eternal.
Yeah.
So even though your body is reliving the 18th every day, your soul is still taking that beating.
They show her waking
every
up,
time.
But like she's holding the area like her stomach or her chest where she got stabbed.
Yeah.
And like affected by it the next morning. It's an interesting thought that hasn't popped up yet. If again, that would be better if we understood how this happened.
Because she does wake up like it's a nightmare. Like if she's getting stabbed, she wakes up and touches her chest. If she's getting burned, she kind of does that.
So does she walk away? So now she's in her final thing. She ended the cycle. She's moving on. But does she have like serious health issues for the rest of her life? Are her lungs like punctured and her stomach, her intestines? Like that's a thing or will they just get better because things were solved? That's a concern of mine.
Because we still don't know. Like there's still, again, she might die of a heart attack at 60 and wake up at 19 at her dorm.
Whenever she dies, right. Whenever she's going to die, she just loops. It's just like this curse.
Yeah.
So would you would rather loop, I assume, than getting murdered?
I think, I like this too. I think I would rather have this because, again, even though we don't really find out in this movie, if the only goal to getting out of this day is surviving, I'd like knowing what my out is.
Yeah.
Like with Groundhog Day, just living every day, you're just like, fuck. And then worrying like, well, shit, what if tomorrow's the day I wake up tomorrow and this is the future I'm stuck with? Like now, that waitress I suckered into sleeping with me is going to be calling all the time.
Yeah. And she doesn't, both of these films, she doesn't know that finding the murder will definitely stop the loop. Nothing was explained to her. These are guesses.
Yeah.
For all she knows, she's just going to be repeating this day.
Or this life.
Same for Groundhog Day.
But this is her. Well, no, because Groundhog Day,
no one explains it to him.
Even if he tries to stay up all night, he still wakes up yesterday.
Right.
Only
when he gets her to fall in love does he do it. Apparently he was supposed to do that, but he didn't know the rules. He just kind of tried and figured it out.
And I guess Tree never does make it to tomorrow. I wish one of them, she would have lasted more than 24 hours just to really.
When she was driving, that was longer, right? She gets all excited because it was like the longest she made it. And she's like, I did it. I beat it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's like, midnight the night before. And she's still, that was gnarly. Like whew, oh shit.
Oh, Desmond's got a realization.
The baby that blows her up in the car, I think that baby's wearing Laurie's shoes. Because I recognized that when I was watching it. Like they really show you the shoes. And it just hit me. I think those are Laurie's shoes.
Oh yeah, remember? That was a hint. Yeah. They focus on the shoes, and then I looked for that later. I never ended up catching it, but those are like nursing shoes.
So she's the one that kills the cop, runs over the cop, and then lights the car on fire. So Laurie's out to finish this one way or the other. So does she kill John on that night? No, she just gets away.
She just got away.
Oh man. Okay, this just got deep for me to know that because I just figured Laurie would be because Laurie's not a killer, she's just she's just, now.
When pushed at the end, she's a pretty badass killer. She's going for it. She has no reservations. Once she's confronted, she's like, you're going to die, you bitch, and tries to kill her pretty hard. So
because we should have known that he wasn't the original killer because he gets demasked, not early, but a little bit too early for a movie to be solved. Oh, I love it. I love it when we finish these with a whole new mystery. So I got this movie rented for another 5 hours. So
Do it, do it,
I
do
might
it,
have to
do
check
it.
it out. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Go time travel and get spooky. And hey, folks, feel free to write in if you've got other time travel horror films. We haven't delved into it too much. So Des and I, we're ready to go. Fucking go back a few years and stab someone in the face. Let's do it.
We got this train is a roll. This horror train is off the tracks, baby. Thank you for listening to Time Pop, the time travel movie podcast. We hope you have enjoyed this journey through time. Please like, subscribe, and tell a friend about Time Pop. And please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/timepop. It is our go to Broadway and see the Back to the Future musical fund. But for helping us get to the Back to the Future musical, we're going to give you an extra podcast every single month. We're doing our time travel-ish movies. I mean, they're actually not time travel-ish, but they're
Distorted realities.
There we go. There we go. Time is definitely being manipulated in some form or fashion, but it's not necessarily time travel. We have our September episode is already out. We did Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you would like to hear us talk about that, go to patreon.com/timepop and throw $3 our way, and you can get that. And for $3 a month, you will get an episode every single month. And if we continue to get more people to join, we might figure out some other ways to improve that content. And we're definitely going to throw a sticker your way. You'll get a Time Pop sticker. I just ordered those today. We officially have Time Pop stickers coming. So I'm going to send that to you. You want it. You need it. You're going to get it.
Wow.
If you like the show and would like to support us for free, we just ask again that you like, subscribe, and tell a friend about Time Pop. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We are at timepoppod. That is at time_pop_pod. Keep sending us great movie recommendations or show recommendations or horror recommendations or Patreon recommendations. Just talk to us, people, at timepoppod@gmail.com. That is timepoppod@gmail.com. And if you have any questions about this or any other episode, you can also send those to timepoppod@gmail.com. Looking for another great podcast to listen to while you wait for the next episode of Time Pop? Head on over to whatsoundsawesome.com. We have 6 great podcasts to choose from for all kinds of things, from comedy, spirituality, fitness and nutrition, the Wheel of Time, and awesome women. Until next time, I'm Desmond McNeese.
And I'm Scott Lifton. See you in the future. Or the past.
Or this morning?
That's the past.
This is, okay, Scott, we have to record this podcast every day. We do. Yeah, no, we wouldn't do that. We would just take the day off. I would be at the bar getting drunk for half of those days. We have to record the perfect podcast until we record the perfect podcast where we don't forget to say anything in our allotted 60 minutes. We have to continue to relive this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, we got to say all the right things, make all the right jokes. That's a lot of.
I forgot to mention the cupcake.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. And that's why we're always on the quest to make the perfect podcast.
Yes.
So and once we do it, we're just going to keep giving you more perfect podcasts.
You're a perfect podcast.
And actually, yeah, this episode's coming out pretty quick. I'm going to bang this. I'm going to bang it out. Oh no, it's coming out next week. I was going to make a plea for BTTF suggestions, but I don't think this will be soon enough. So you know what? We're going to talk about something. Back to the Future.
That's right. Our favorite holiday, folks. It's coming around the corner, depending on when you hear this. It might have already came, but it's probably coming around the corner. But yeah, we're excited to celebrate. It's Time Pop's biggest holiday of the year. No bigs.
Here's what we're going to do, Scott. All 3 of us are going to watch a different Back to the Future movie.
And fight.
And then we're just going to show up and talk about what we liked about the Back to the Future movie that we watched personally and just bounce back and forth. Just a big mess.
Yeah, just like time.
I think that's a fitting end to our selection process for what we're going to do for Back to the Future Day.
We're okay.
It is. Back to the Future Day is going to come and go whether we're involved or not, and we're going to get involved.
Seeing the musical would have been the thing.
That would have been the thing. That's the real mystery we need to solve, is how we're going to get to the musical.
Patreon, help support us to go see the musical.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.